of the day. It is the women's 3,000-meter run. The opening heat scheduled to be paced by Kate Mitchell. They're shooting for a sub 9 minutes, specifically an 8:45, sub 8:45 pace. So this is some real high-level racing.
And along the way, we're looking for 440 at 1,600 with a number of featured athletes from the NCAA Cross Country Championships. Let's see how that strength bodes for them.
Scheduled to have 24 on the oval for this first, 19 on the oval for this first 3,000, 24 in the second race. Kate Mitchell, once again, she rabbited earlier today. She is back taking things out. Mitchell rabbited the fast section of the women's mile. Now it's the fast section of the women's 3K. And as Carson mentioned, a number of top finishers in the NCAA Cross Country Championships on the 200 banked right now.
One of them sitting in third is Shannon Flockhart of Providence. She was the number 3 runner for the number 3 women's team at the NCAAs, and she looks very comfortable behind the pace setters. Bailey Hertenstein, the Nike athlete, Colorado alum, sitting in second.
So it is Hertenstein, who also ran at IU, that's Indiana. Right behind Mitchell, they go through 69 seconds, first 400 meters. A runner I'm very familiar with, Melissa Riggins, who in high school only ran one cross-country race because she was a two-sport athlete, also a standout soccer player, but was a killer on the track, 800 and 1,600. Only COVID kept her from winning both state titles in Pennsylvania in the small school division 4 straight years. But Melissa Riggins went to Georgetown on scholarship for both track and track, cross country, and soccer, but now she is a runner solely. She's sitting in the middle of the pack running this 3K.
And she helped contribute to a very impressive top 10 team finish for the Hoyas at Nationals, so she's definitely transformed from a part-time runner to a year-round runner.
And she was more 800 focused early on in her collegiate career, but now showing some great versatilities, run some incredibly fast miles, and she is in the 3K today. But again, Ceili McCabe from WVU scheduled to be out there. I haven't seen the Mountaineer kit, looking for that. I see her now, number 4.
There,
yep,
she
there
is.
She is. She is just on the outside, about 6th or 7th place. Actually right in front of Riggins and alongside, I think that's Riley Chamberlain from BYU. And yes, it is.
Chamberlain also expected to feature as a pacer in the 5K, but she's going for the racing here. She was part of that BYU team that won its 6th national title in program history, the number 2 runner for the Cougars. Sitting mid-pack right now.
Coming through 1,000 meters for the first time, 2:55. That is right on 8:45 pace.
Don't know if we're going to see anything near a Caitlin Toohey 8:35 collegiate record today, but 8:45, that's right around the benchmark that a lot of these ladies are aiming for early in the season. Again, it's about that long build to March.
And even faster, the facility record, Carissa Schweitzer from Nike Bowerman, 8:25.70 in 2020. But we are settled in behind Kate Mitchell, shooting for a 4:40 opening metric high school mile of 1,600 meters. She took a quick look over the shoulder. This is a 15-lap race as McCabe from WVU moves up into the number 4 spot. The Canadian specialist in the steeplechase outdoors had a fantastic cross-country season, led the Mountaineers of Sean Cleary to the number 2 finish overall in the team battle behind BYU.
And she did so by placing 6th individually, so not only did they do well as a team, but they had a good front runner in Ceili McCabe. She's got a 8:50.44 personal best over 3K, and she ran that at the opener meet in 2022 to take the win.
So Bethany Haas from BAA wearing number 17, also up there right behind McCabe in the number 5 spot. And we see a long single file procession before a sizable gap between the last 2 runners in this field. Coming up on the 1,600 meter mark, and they are going to be right at 4:40. Boy, great pace work at 4:40 by Kate Mitchell brings them through in the time they wanted and the time they needed to go fast here at Boston University. It is Bailey Hertenstein in the lead.
She had been sticking right on the pace setter, Kate Mitchell, and right behind her, Shannon Flockhart's been in the same spot all race, so I'd imagine she's going to have some wheels coming home with that considered.
One thing that Alex Gibby, the Harvard coach, mentioned, just sort of being patient, not being too anxious, maybe getting lost in the traffic, but here they're in the position, they're ready to go, and now is when they start racing. And
Ceili McCabe has been making smooth moves up to this field. She's in the number 3 position right now on the outside of lane 1.
And Bethany Haas in 4th, and Claudia Kazimirska from Oregon in the number 5 position.
That's Shalana Yildiz in number 5, actually. The other Oregon Duck, part of the 5th place team at Cross Nationals for Division 1. Flomena Asakol, the unattached University of Florida alum, who is the 2nd-ranked returner, in fact, behind Amina Matug, who is on schedule to race here. Asakol in the top mix as well.
Good catch on the right duck, but the pace has slipped a little bit. They were at 5:52, so no longer on that 8:45 pace. So we'll see the kickers and how they can move in this final 800 meters coming up. 4 laps to go in the women's 3K.
There are 11 women in the mix right now, so we're definitely going to see the pace pick back up once we get to the final couple of laps here. Crossing over just below 6:30 with 800 meters to go.
So Flomena Asakal making a move. She is now in the number 7 position.
Riley Chamberlain looks good as well. She's held the inside line for BYU despite being in 6th right now. She's done similar to what Shannon Flockhart has done to this point, so I'd expect her to have a kick once we get toward the latter stages.
And speaking of Flockhart, I would like to be in the position that Flockhart and McCabe are right now. I think they're in the perfect spot. Hertenstein has put in some of the pacing work as the leader, and there goes Flockhart, and she's going to bring McCabe with her. They both go by the pro. It is the 2 collegians now in front. Ceili McCabe and Shannon Flockhart running for WVU and Providence, but Hertenstein has not given up. She's still right there with Bethany Haas from BAA in 4th.
Shalana Yildiz made a move up into the top 6 there, and right behind her, that looks to be Marco Appleton of UVA, who have yet to mention a sub 4:30 miler. We know she's going to have some closing speed as well.
The lead group is 8, but it is McCabe now taking over. The young lady from Canada and West Virginia University.
She closes in sub 69. She's got a chance at a PB here. Look at this move.
The stamina that's needed for the steeplechase. She is bringing it to the table right now, but here comes Bailey Hertenstein.
It's almost as though Bailey tempted the field to come back at her, and once they did, they went for it, perhaps a little bit too early. Hertenstein's coming back to McCabe with 1 lap to go.
Does McCabe have another gear? They're at 8:13 with 1 to go. The bell rings.
McCabe still looks confident, but Hertenstein on the shoulder. Flockhart in 3rd and Yildiz in 4th.
It looks like it's down to these 2, Ceili McCabe and Bailey Hertenstein. Nike or WVU. There goes Hertenstein, makes the pass. And she is going to run to victory in the hot heat of the women's 3,000 meters, pulling away from Ceili McCabe from WVU. Flockhart moving up to challenge for 2nd. And it will be Hertenstein, Flockhart, and McCabe, 1, 2, 3 at Boston University. 8:45.05, the time they were looking for, and it happened. They slipped a little bit in that 2nd kilometer to pace, but they came back with the top 3 all running sub 8:46.
And that just goes to show the veteranship of Bailey Hertenstein. I mean, that's why she's a pro runner, right? She stuck right with the pace, was comfortable with it, and then played a little bit of mind games with the collegians, who ran great efforts of their own. Of course, personal best for both Shannon Flockhart and Ceili McCabe. Shannon Flockhart, officially her PB prior to this was 9:09, so huge improvement for her over an unfamiliar distance. Ceili McCabe as well with her first sub 850, but great run, great tactics by Hertenstein.